Hey, welcome back to Waking the Mystic, where we celebrate who and what we are. You know, today I wanted to talk about some of the challenges we face, all of us, all the time, but especially when you begin to open up to your divine essence, the truth of who you are. It seems that life can really throw bigger curveballs, and it really cracks open, or it really forces us to examine what we really think we are and our perspectives in life. For example, I have been given quite a challenge these last 6 months, where my husband has become quite ill, and it is life-threatening illness. And it really does make us, well, it's making me examine my own identity. Let's say my identity has been so wrapped up. Well, I've been married for 34 years, so for 34 years, I've been with the same person. My identity has then revolved around him and then my children for so long that I have forgotten that there is another me that exists and is wanting my attention. And many of us face such challenging life situations that we are really forced to examine who and what we think we are. Are we these identities that we so strongly associate our lives with? Am I this wife of a man who is very ill? What am I really? And I've discovered a lot more about myself and my assumptions, my expectations, and what life would be then again without him. How would I function in the world? I seem to have lost a lot of my independence. And that's not a negative thing. It's just that we get so used to a certain way in life, certain people, certain things, that when they are tested, when they are challenged, when they are taken away, we become what? Because we never change. Our essence never changes. And so our identities are strictly thought-based, strictly habitual, and not exactly what we thought we are. It's an odd place to be in. In my previous videos, and I wrote a book about raising a child with intellectual disabilities, and how my life revolved around the fear, the guilt that this diagnosis had brought about within me, and how I used alcohol as a way to suppress my feelings of inadequacy. And I saw through that deeply. I mean, I had a massive spiritual awakening, and I was pretty surprised that shortly after the release of this book, did my husband get gravely ill. And it just goes to show you that life is a constant, in a constant state of flux, that it always changes. But it reminds me that my essence is the same, that it always has been since when I can remember being aware of myself. So by stepping back and observing rather than becoming identified with or emotionally attached to the events going on in our lives, no matter how difficult they are, can bring a sense of peace, or it can ease the intensity of such experience. I am confident that we are given these experiences to grow and to become more of who we are. We may not like them, not at all, but especially in this situation, it's not sudden. This is now a long-term illness. We don't know which way it's going to go. So it is a constant challenge as a caregiver on how I can accept what's happening. That is the biggest thing, acceptance. Accepting what life presents us is really, really challenging. It doesn't have to be challenging, but it certainly makes you much more aware of what's actually going on. So, I don't know. For me, I've said in every video, meditation is a huge tool for me to survive, to find peace in my day. And, being with people that support you. A lot of people, in the kindness of their heart, want to make things better for you. So they say, oh, it'll get better, it'll get better. And understandably, they don't like, it's uncomfortable for people to be around someone who is in distress. And I recognize that. We all do that. So it's important to find people who are kind of been there and can be an open space for whatever trials or tribulations you're going through. They're not there to say it's going to get better. They're there to say, I know this sucks. And as my mother would say, this too shall pass. But it brings greater peace in the present moment. And I don't know, I thought it was important to address this because so many of us have challenges that we didn't anticipate, expect, and do not want. But it is a part of our growth, and it is a part of the process of awakening to more of who we are, which is magnificent and huge, not limited to these identities that we have grown so attached to, and the others around us have really instilled that in us. So I wish you all peace, and if you have any questions, let me know. And all you can really do is accept what's happening now. Really, that's what we can do. Also, there's a greater reality, there are a lot of support. There's a lot of divine support around us, and I think that if we reach out and ask for it, it's readily available. I know it is for me. Sometimes I can't see it because I get too caught up in my world, but Thanks for listening, guys.